Okay, so welcome to another obscenely late night rant, courtesy of Lucy. So there's been an ongoing war, I guess you could say, between long-haired people like myself and then other people who routinely grow out and then cut their hair and donate it to various hair companies. Probably the most popular company being Locks of Love. I've been asked many times by strangers whether I grow out my hair for the specific purpose of cutting it and donating it to these places, and then when I tell them no, I just grow it out for my own reasons, then they kind of suggest that I'm selfish. And I mean, these people don't even know me. They don't know what I do or what my morals are. How can they possibly be so patronizing? But I mean, I'm not going to cut my hair. I'm not going to donate it to any of these places, and I don't think I'm a bad person for doing so. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you want to donate your hair to one of these associations, then more power to you. I'm sure somebody somewhere will be very grateful for the 10 to 20% of a wig that you may contribute to. It is a way for people who don't earn a whole lot of money to be able to give back, and people, especially other children, feel as if they're helping somebody else and they don't have to make a large monetary sacrifice. So that's good. They feel that they accomplished something. However, please do your research before donating anything to these companies. There has been a lot of controversy surrounding particularly Locks of Love and other so-called not-for-profit organizations that accept hair. I've heard other people in like the long hair community call Locks of Love evil, and that they sell more hair than they actually keep for making wigs. And I'm not here to judge them. I'm not here to confirm or deny any of those rumors. I'm just going to read you a few things that are on the Locks of Love website, so they're presumed to be 100% true. These are things that they don't hide, but they're often not mentioned whenever you see them on TV or anything, or they're otherwise toned down. And a lot of the general public simply does not pay attention to the rules before they donate their hair. So many companies generally only accept virgin hair, so that's hair that's not damaged, bleached, chemically permed or relaxed in any way, that's not too short, too brittle, or just like generally bad. Other companies like Pantene Beautiful Lengths, they don't even accept dyed hair, even if it's never been bleached before. Pantene will accept gray hair up to 5%. Because they cater to mature women, but other companies like Wigs for Kids or Locks of Love, they won't accept gray hair. If somebody gives them gray hair, they will sell it. They're not going to pick through all the hair and take out all the gray hair. That's just too much work for them. So they will sell that hair, and they specifically say on the website that they will sell it because no child wants a wig with gray hair. Your hair has to be a minimum of 8 inches long if you're going to be selling or giving it to Pantene. It has to be 10 inches long for Locks of Love. It has to be 12 inches long for Wigs for Kids. If it's any shorter than that, then they will either sell it or throw it away. Most likely sell it. If it's not in a ponytail or a braid, it will basically be thrown out. If it's wet, it will be thrown out. Please be aware that it is not a simple process for a child to receive a wig. I would actually say that it is probably more difficult to apply for a wig than it is to apply for like a university scholarship or bursary. Here's an example of what the companies need. Often parents need to provide doctor's letters or copies of the medical files to prove that they actually have a condition that requires the need for a wig, so that it proves that they have some hair loss. They need to provide proof of the parents' or guardian's income and any related documentation like tax returns, medical insurance. Locks of Love also requires a photo of the child and also 2 letters of reference from often adults who say why they think that the child would need a hairpiece. In my research, I also read that they used to have the child write an essay explaining why they would like a wig, but I think they've done away with that. Now, I really don't think it was in good taste on their part to ask for a photo during the application process. They say it's to look at the shape of the child's skull so that they can customize the fit of the wig better. But if that were true, why wouldn't they ask for the photo of the child after they've already been accepted into the program to receive a wig, instead of during the initial application? Because that makes me think that they're judging who receives a wig and who doesn't based on their appearance, like how much hair loss they've actually experienced, or maybe their ethnic background or something. But in any case, after a child is accepted to receive a wig, then that child is sent a casting kit to make a mold of the shape of the child's head so that they can customize the shape of the wig. So why would they really need a photo in the first place? Lastly, please be aware of what happens after a child is accepted to receive a wig. Often the wigs are not free, they're only subsidized, so the child's family would only have to pay like $500 instead of $1,000. Obviously, like, every little bit helps, but don't think they're all receiving wigs for free. Also, 80% of their wigs go to children with alopecia. If the child is actually battling cancer and they receive a wig, usually it's a very rare situation where they receive radiation on their scalp, so they'll never grow hair back, or it's a certain type of cancer that they'll be battling for the rest of their lives. It's not a typical cancer case. But if you've ever seen broadcasts where Locks of Love is involved and a lot of people are shaving their heads for a cause, often the alopecia is downplayed and cancer is the main emphasis in those broadcasts. You know what? I have nothing against people with alopecia. I have friends who have alopecia, but I don't think it's right for people to believe that they're donating their hair to a child who is battling for their life, when in reality that is not the case, because alopecia is not a life-threatening illness. Also, remember that kids grow, so after about 2 years, they will often outgrow their wigs, and so they would have to apply for a new one through Locks of Love. But be aware that every single wig is custom made to a certain child's scalp, and Locks of Love does not receive old wigs again. So after a child outgrows their wig, that's gone. That can't be given to anybody else through Locks of Love anyways. If you want to give your old wig to another person who needs it, you would probably have to do that directly. So I'm not saying don't donate your hair or don't shave your head for cancer or anything like that. I think that it's great that these campaigns raise awareness for these diseases and the need for research in the first place, but just know exactly what organization you're donating to. And actually, if you really want to contribute and donate something without having to make any sort of monetary sacrifice, why don't you donate some blood? I mean, your blood can help save many people's lives. Every little bit makes a difference. You could save the life of a child who has leukemia. You can save the lives of people who've been in accidents and all sorts of trauma. They can be fractionated. Your blood can be fractionated so that like your platelets can be given to hemophiliacs, your plasma can be given to dehydrated people, your red blood cells can be given to anemic people. It goes on, and don't think that it doesn't make a difference, because it does. Or in the very least, if you're going to be cutting your hair, then make a campaign out of it, you know, like raise awareness, get some sponsors, try to raise a few $1,000s, and then give that money to the Cancer Society or your local hospital. Or, well, I might be a little bit biased here, but I mean, you can also donate to your local university in the health sciences faculty, because there are principal investigators there who actually do care about doing research. They care about finding new treatments, and they care about churning out results. So you really don't know what's going to happen to your hair once you give it to one of those not-for-profit organizations. It might go towards a wig, it might be sold to offset costs, or it might be just thrown out. Another thing that you can do is you can just sell your hair online. There are a lot of people who will pay $3,000 or more for hair that's my length or longer. And then you can take that money and give it directly to whatever organization you want, the Cancer Society, the hospital, the university, whatever you want. But at least then you know firsthand exactly where your money is going. It might not go very far. I mean, I know from personal experience that $10,000 is like pocket change when it comes to like health research, but every little bit helps, and it's a lot better than just giving an organization your ponytail and not knowing whether any good is going to come out of it. So unfortunately, hair is not going to cure cancer. A lot of people think that I'm really selfish for not wanting to shave my head for cancer, but I know the truth. It's not going to cure cancer. And please don't think that I'm being insensitive towards cancer patients. I am no stranger to cancer. It is very prevalent in my family. I've seen many of my loved ones have to battle it. I've seen many of family members have to die from it. I still have wigs from my grandmother from when she was battling breast cancer. And truthfully, I think I'm probably gonna die from cancer too, because it is just that high in my family. But a lot of people seem to forget that losing your hair is not a symptom of cancer, it is a side effect of the treatment. What chemotherapy does is it basically kills any dividing cell in your body. So any hair follicles that are alive and like dividing to make hair, those die and then your hair falls out. And I'm sure many people would sacrifice their hair on their head to get better. Otherwise they wouldn't be going through the treatment. They're trying to get healthy again. And I would certainly do the same thing. If I had cancer, I would take the chemotherapy. I will not die for the hair on my head. So why don't I just practice what I preach? Why don't I just cut my hair and then donate the money I raised to cancer research? Well, I've been doing research. I have a degree in biochemistry and I've been working for 2 years in a biology lab doing health sciences research. I've been studying a model, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, budding yeast, which is basically a rising model right now in breast cancer research. So for 6 years I've had to wake up every single day and study cancer in some form or another, either in my classes or reading papers about it and how it relates to the research that I'm doing or whatever. So I've had to study pathways upon pathways of molecular interactions in cells, how it causes tumorigenesis and malignancy. Even in my free time, I study the societal impact of it and like the psychology of sickness, and I know firsthand how cancer affects a family. I've been working in a lab for years now and I've been exposing myself to really, really terrible things. Toxins like beta-mercaptoethanol. I've been exposing myself to ethidium bromide, which intercalates in between the bases of DNA and causes cancer. I've been exposing myself to nicotazole and formaldehyde, which basically cross-links proteins and causes cancer. I've been exposing myself to concentrated UV rays for some of my screens, which causes thymine dimers in the DNA and causes cancer. So, I mean, I'm probably going to get cancer someday. So, I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or toot my own horn here or anything like that. I'm just saying that I've been trying to directly contribute to health sciences research in any way I can. I am not the greatest researcher. I'm not going to get like a Nobel Prize or anything like that. And I'm a grad student. I'm a nobody. I'm one of the little guys in the back of the lab. I don't really have a voice. But I like to think that someday, like maybe the research I do will amount to something. I don't know, like I'm not going to be the man or like the face of research or anything like that. I know I'm not going to be. But I like to think that what I've been doing is making more of a contribution than just, you know, cutting my hair and giving it to somebody. So that is my rationale for why I refuse to cut my hair, and I hope you guys will respect me for that. So yes, I've been babbling for like half an hour now probably, so I will talk to you all soon. Bye.